What's up? What's up? What's up, gang? Welcome back to another episode of The Assist. I am your host, Dylan. The Assist is brought to you by the No Network, where we desire to bring all of those fans on the Gulf Coast closer to the teams that we love. If you're an LSU Tiger fan, hold that Tiger. Welcome to the spot. If you're a Roll Wave fan, keep rolling, 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 rolling. Keep rolling. Welcome to the spot. If you're a New Orleans Gold fan, shout out to my rugby gang. I see y'all. You're at the spot. If you're a Saints fan, you're at the spot. Training camp is turning up right now. I see. Wherever you sit on the Gulf Coast pendulum, whatever team you support, this is your one-stop shop here at the Know, where you can get the best coverage, one-of-one coverage that's going to take care of you. Congratulations. You're now rocking with the best. Yes, you're now rocking with the best. Yes, you're now rocking with the best. Oh, baby, am I excited about this episode. So there was a report that came out. I'm going to put my basketball down. Shout out to my Jordan Hawkins signed basketball, you dig? um, there was a report that came out that sent waves throughout the fan base. And I'm not even going to breathe any more oxygen into the report, or not even the report, the thought process, rather, that came out a couple of weeks ago by a certain individual. I'm not going to talk about him because he don't need me to talk about him. He's already got enough energy. He's already got enough influence. He don't need me. But basically, there was a conversation between Zach Lowe and this individual, and this individual came out and basically said he could see the New Orleans Pelicans being moved because it's a failed product. They tried it. It's an experiment that just didn't work out. And everybody got all up in arms. Oh, my goodness, we're going to lose the team. Help me. Help me. And I understand. I get it, right? I get it, because when we get things in the city, when we get things in Louisiana, and particularly outside of the Saints, it feels like everything is transitional, right? It's almost like since Katrina, the entirety of South Louisiana has lived a very transient life. Everyone is either trying to get out of the city, everyone is either trying to get out of the South. It's like almost everyone is trying to go to Houston or Georgia, ATL, or somewhere like that. And I understand, I get it. I left home. I had to leave home to go and do what I needed to do. I understand it. But this is the one thing I know. Sometimes you can't let people who are speaking from the outside of the house determine how you feel about what's on the inside of your house. They can speak from the outside of the house and say all kind of stuff. Yeah, they dusty. It's stinking there. They don't never clean. They don't know what's going on. Yes, the kids might come out crazy. Yes, some crazy words might be going on. But for all they know, it could be a mansion on the inside of the house. It could be the best house in the neighborhood on the inside of that house. But they will never know why, because they talking from outside the house. And before I get into all these facts, because this is going to be a fact-driven episode, by the way, with minimal, because I got to pop off, with minimal opinion towards the end of the episode. But majority of this episode will be straight facts just from Gail Benson, Mrs. B, and Dennis Lauska's mouth, as well as facts and reports that people are reporting and have reported for years. For years. Some of these things came out in 2021, but still we are gleaning to this downright, downcast spirit of anything could fall at any moment. And I get it. It's the culture where we're from. We've been hardwired to get it out the mud, so far be it from us to have this ideal that we might not have to get something out the mud. Maybe it's just here. And so this is how this show is going to go. We're going to go in three different eras. We're going to go to what the ownership says. We're going to go to what the ownership has done to legally bind the teams to the city. And then we're going to go to what the fan engagement is with the team. We're going to go from three different spheres, and then three different spheres. And then that fourth sphere is going to be me just popping off. Okay? You ready? I'm about to read stuff. I'm not just about to talk. So the first thing I will say before I get into these spheres is, can a team move? Yes. Yes. Every team in the world could move today. Anybody could move. And I could wake up tomorrow and the Boston Celtics will be moved to a different place. I can wake up tomorrow and the Oklahoma City Thunder, who just won the championship, but is still a small market team, could be moved tomorrow. Anything is possible in the world of sports. We're seeing things happen right now in the world of sports that they thought back in the 90s would never happen. College kids are getting paid bands on bands to play. So what am I? I'm not going to try and puff you up to believe that nothing could ever happen. Something could happen. Anything could happen because in the world of sports, in the world, honestly, a business and shoot, most of the world, money is king, cash is king. So I'm going to give you that disclaimer that all of the facts I give you, they can change. But as they are currently set, it's going to cost somebody a lot of money to change these facts. So the first thing I want to do is I want to take you to what Mrs. B and what Dennis have said. So first thing we got right here, Mrs. B said this. Mrs. B said there is no way that I'm going to sell that team ever. She said that to be in sports. So she said this out of her mouth that there is no way she's going to sell the team ever. Point blank, period. It also came out and said Pelicans owner Gail Benson has strongly denied any intentions to sell or relocate the team. BN Sports has reported that. Then Dennis Lauska came behind her and he simply said, not going to happen. It's not going to happen. He said it on Hoops Hype. Not going to happen at all. He also went back to speak about how he felt when the New Orleans Jazz left the city and how it left such a large hole in the city. And he didn't want to see another generation of young children, young upcoming athletes have to go through what he went through when the Jazz left the city. So this is what they are verbally saying to us. And honestly, Mrs. B has said this over and over and over and over and over again. No, niet, nunca, whatever form, no, whatever translation or whatever language you need, no, Mrs. B has said it or has been translated into that. She has overtly come out and said from her mouth that this is not going to happen. Now, I get the one main thing that is hanging over the Pelicans being here for long term is that arena lease. Reports are showing that the arena lease will be, not reports, just facts at this point. The arena lease is set to expire in 2029 at the end of that season. It just got renewed or actually extended in 2024. So they just extended the lease because there was a clause in the contract that said they can extend. They extended the lease in 2024 to go to 2029. Now, that is factual. No one can doubt that. And when brought up on the news by Fletcher McHale, sorry if I said your name wrong, Fletch, but the mayor, I think it was the mayor, or was it Jeff Landry? May have been the governor, one of the two. No, it's the mayor. It's the mayor. Or no, it was Jeff Landry. Jeff Landry, I think, said it. He kind of danced around the question of the lease. And I get that. Lease, sorry. I get that. That put me up in arms. If we're Twitter friends, shout out to you. That's my guy, my girl. I appreciate you for supporting me on Twitter. Let me know what your link, what your ad is. Drop it in the comments, and I'm gonna make sure I follow you back. I'm trying to get to 1,000, by the way. Help me out. Help a brother out. I'm trying to get to that thou out. You got me. You got me. But anyway, if you follow me on Twitter or X, shout out to Elon. You saw me not be too kind to the governors dancing around this ideal. Because the truth of the matter is the lease is what's going to keep the team here. But there are more reports that have come out since that. According to WWL TV, Sports Business Journal, it says there have been ongoing discussions about either renovating the existing arena or planning a new one. However, no major decisions have been made yet, and the parties are taking a cautious, phased approach. They have not made any finite decisions yet, but the discussions are ongoing and they're taking a cautious phase one, phase two. That means crowd searching, that means resourcing, and all these things approach. This is again according to WWL TV, Sports Business Journal, and so many other outlets have reported this. Again, I'm not going to give you anything from Dylan today. We're getting to the facts, man. Too many emotions and opinions are flying around that's got us all up in arms. And we can't really live like this. And so when you see that, yes, You could either look at it as glass half empty or glass half full. You're not wrong if you do either or. You're not wrong. If you see that and you're like, yeah, but 5 years is going to come by fast. And if they don't got a plan fast, then I don't know what's going to happen. Well, we also need to look at the status of the Smoothie King Center. Now, New Orleans is known as one of the entertainment hotbeds or tourist hotbeds in all of America. There is few cities that see more tourists than New Orleans. So, in order for, and furthermore, Louisiana depends, and everyone can say this, Louisiana depends on New Orleans to bring in so much revenue because of what New Orleans is to the entirety of the state. I'm from BR. I'm Baton Rouge all day. And I even can be honest with myself. Yes, get myself. Yes, we're the state capital. Always gonna be that. You're not gonna take that from us, gang. But at the same token, I have a healthy honor for what New Orleans brings to Louisiana in totality. With that being said, the primary thing you must keep intact in New Orleans in order to keep driving up that revenue is your main arenas, stadiums, and so on. Why? Because when you get these major acts that come to the city and they can't fill up the Caesar Dome, sorry, they are going to want to use the Smoothie King Center. The Smoothie King Center has some places, according to reports, that have almost been close to condemned. They look so out of whack. So there has to be some form of renovations done to the Smoothie King Center that go beyond the Pelicans being present there, that go just to being able to use it as an entertainment hub for acts and different people to come in and bring revenue to the state. This is bigger than the Pelicans. So before we can get in a fear and ideal of nervousness, we have to understand that the state cannot afford for the Smoothie King Center to not be renovated or for there not to be another arena developed or built. It can't afford it. Why? Because that would be such a large a large revenue hit that it would destroy a lot because you're taking off a piece of what makes New Orleans an attractive place for different people to come in. If I can't come to your Smoothie King Center, let's just keep it above. Who's hot right now? K Dot. Let's say K Dot wants to put on a concert. Obviously, we know K Dot probably at this point could pack out the Caesars Dome. We dig it. But say for instance, he wanted to put on a more intimate 16,000 person square foot show. He's going to want to do it in the Smoothie King Center because there's no other place he could do it. But his people come to the city and they do a research of the arena and they notice this arena isn't it. Now, mind you, K Dot is going to sell out when he comes to this place. Guess who's going to get a piece of that ticket price? Guess who's going to get a small piece of that? The state of Louisiana. And it's called a creative piece. The creative piece for you being able to make money in the state of Louisiana because you are a creative artist or an artistry or something like that piece, you're going to have to pay. It's almost like a tax for coming in and expressing your entertainment. It's an entertainment tax, basically. Expressing your form of entertainment and garnishing resources, aka financial stability and so many other things. You're getting these things in our state, so therefore you have to pay. Now imagine if that's just gone. Or imagine if that's marginalized to mega artists because the smaller artists can't pack the Caesar Dome. Then what do? So this goes beyond the Pelicans. The Smoothie King Center needs to be renovated for more than just basketball. It needs to be renovated for entertainment, for conventions. People aren't going to hold a convention in the Caesar Dome. They're going to hold it in the Smoothie King Center. It needs to be renovated to keep up with conventions. So many other pieces to this come into play. So with that being said, yes, the lease is up in 2029. Yes, there needs to be major steps taken in the right direction to make sure that this lease is put in place and developed properly. Yes, it has to happen. And that is really that's the linchpin of it all right now, if we're being honest. But I think wiser heads will come to the table and come to this realization that one, we need to update this arena no matter what. Even if we don't believe in the Pelicans because the Saints have won a Super Bowl, because business people only speak in numbers and they look at the Saints as the bell cow, and I get all that blase. But even if that's the reality you exist in, The truth of the matter is, you still have to make something plausible or something usable for entertainment pieces to be able to come to the city and have a space that's small enough to where they can say sold out, but large enough to where it could pack a lot of people. It has to happen. It's not an if or an and, it's a for sure. For sure. And to take it a step further, that was just the Gail Benson ownership arena piece right there. Now we're going to go to the legal safeguards. Gail, Mrs. B has not just said this in words, she's put it in verb, people. She's put it in verb. She's putting what is called safeguards or covenants within her agreement. And I want to read these. I want to read this. I don't want to just say it. It says team ownership will transfer to a charitable trust upon her death. Ownership of the New Orleans Pelicans and Saints will go to a trust, the Benson Community Fund. The Benson, remember that. The trust is explicitly required to sell both teams, but only to buyers who commit to keeping the teams in New Orleans. You heard that part. The teams have to stay in New Orleans, and there is a timeline. The 15 to 20 years is the usual timeline of what it is, but that is a reality as well. But then it goes on to say all proceeds from the sale will go toward local charities and community projects in New Orleans. Listen, man. I know y'all don't like Mrs. B for the decisions that are made from the people she's hired because she isn't quick to fire the people she's hired, and she's got a football guy dabbling into the basketball sphere. But I get that. I understand the whole nine. But if did you just hear what I said? Like, this lady has made it to where even in her transition and going up yonder, if you know what I mean, you know what you know. Going up yonder, she's still going to be investing in the city of New Orleans. These covenants are designed to prevent relocation, even if ownership changes. This is what Mrs. B said to the Times Pecan. I'm not even going to try and say it because I always say pecan and my mom laughs at me. In 2018, she said, when I die, the teams are going to be sold. Fact. But they are going to be sold to someone who's going to keep them here. Can they move them? Yes, they can. Will it be easy? No. No. It says this when I did further research, because again, I'm coming to you with facts. I'm not talking to y'all. I want to bring facts to the table. It says this when I looked it up. I just looked up. I said, is it possible to move a team when there's a covenant at stake or a safeguard at stake? It said to me this. It said the sale conditions are legally binding and written into the trust. A buyer who would need to break the legal contract, something extremely difficult, without breaching sale terms. So that means that, the truth be told, they would have to breach the contract to move the team. Now, is there different nuances and agreements that you can find loopholes to and all that? Obviously, yes, these are billionaires playing with billionaire lawyers. They can. But it's going to cost you money to move them somewhere. It's going to cost you a lot of money. A lot of money in lawyers. Then you got to go to bat with the state. And it's going to cost you a lot, and then you could be sued. There's so many different things that could go against you trying to move this team within that 15 to 20-year window if Mrs. B just so happens to sell, or whenever she goes up to the up yonder. So now I've given you the legal, I've given you what the owner said, and now I'm going to give you the fan engagement. That's what I'm gonna give you, because this guy said in his report, he was like, they don't, if they've been struggling to connect with the fans, and they can't really get on the same page with the fans, and it's just not a good product. It's not a good. Sir, 2018, 2019, the last time the New Orleans Pelicans put a viable product on the floor, they almost sold out almost every home game. Now, mind you, a sellout in tickets is not the same as a sellout in person. The tickets weren't there. The people may not have been there in droves, which rightfully so. 41 games. That's a lot of games at home. It is a lot of games, a lot of nights. This ain't football. A lot of games, a lot of nights at the crib. But those tickets were gone. Those tickets were gone. And guess who also in 2018, 2019, ESPN and ABC decided was one of their most profitable. No, I'm going to say it right. The highest rated local markets, according to ESPN and ABC. Shout out to my guy. I'm gonna get a love to Jerry, aka Five on Live. Get Live Five. He'll be on here Wednesday. But Pels Talk, y'all did that. Love that. Love this. Love this. Love this. Pels Talk. Ain't no competition in this. We all in the same team. We all trying to build a brand. I'm not in this. My only competition is me, just like their only competition is them. Everybody's trying to just do what we want to do, and this is a passion project for us all. We just hoping to edify this thing we love called the New Orleans Pelicans. But it says this: here are, according to ESPN and ABC, the top three highest rated local markets in 2018, 2019. This was that same year I said it was basically almost packed out, sold out almost every home game on average. On average, that's, you got to phrase that on average. Average is different than, actual, on average. So number one, Norfolk, Virginia. Number two, OKC. That's a small market. I digress. And guess who's number three? New Orleans. Wow. You mean to tell me the city that doesn't like basketball was ESPN and ABC's number three highest rated local market? Oh my wow, as my daughter would say. Oh my wow. And then there's another report that came out that, according to basketballnews.com, again, I'm coming to you with facts. Shout out to Pro Players Talk and my guy Five and the whole nine. It report that in 2022, New Orleans was the city with the highest NBA viewership. That's just 3 years ago. The highest NBA viewership. Let that sink in. Not two, not three, not four. The highest. That's us. The New Orleans Pelicans are the highest. Now, I'm going to break it down a little more, and I hate to do this because I don't want to throw shade on anybody else, because more life and more speed to you. But teams that have been statistically and reportedly struggling to engage with their fans more, two teams, the Indiana Pacers. Nobody talks about them. Why? Because they've been around longer, and they have Larry Bird and Reggie Miller and so on and so on. No one's talking about them because they're around longer. And the Memphis Grizzlies. I'm not going to say nothing about my guys. I got love for Memphis. Love Memphis. I don't agree with what the other guys said either. Again, I ain't giving no names. They don't need my oxygen. They got enough. I go to Memphis and I feel safe and calm in Memphis. Go get me some nice barbecue in Memphis. Yeah, you got to watch where you at on time. But if you go looking for the wrong thing anywhere, you're going to find the wrong thing everywhere. I done been in the suburbs and then found the wrong things. It's not about the space. It's about what you went there looking for. Why you was over there. That's what my mom would say. Well, why you was over there? What you doing over there? So those two teams are the teams that are struggling to engage with fan engagement. Nowhere in the breath was New Orleans. It's simple. You put a winning product out there, we going to show up. You put a winning product out there, we going to show up. Do you realize even when you don't put a winning product out there, it's still a vibe in the arena? Do you realize that? Kevin Durant came out and said this. He was being interviewed again. I'm showing my guy Five a lot of love right now. This is me gassing him up for this episode he's about to come on. Five asked him a question like, what did you think? I think the question was like, what did you think about the arena? And he was like, man, this is KD, a legend. He said, man, I used to come to New Orleans and it was never like this. Like, it's good to see the energy. This was amazing. The energy is fine. Like, these are legends who played all over the globe, but have nice things to say about the energy that's being built in the city. One of your youngest organizations. And I get it. It's because OKC has popped off so fast. And everybody's like, well, if OKC can do it, why isn't New Orleans doing it? I'd rather go to New Orleans than go to OKC. I'm not going to OKC on vacation. I'm going to New Orleans. So why can't they win if they're the more desirable city? There's something going on. I get it, man. I'm not going to throw no shade on OKC, what OKC is doing. But you ain't got to rob Peter to pay Paul, though. You ain't got, and furthermore, we ain't gotta invest in them with our oxygen. We ain't got to invest in them with our oxygen. So, like I just said to you, I've given you facts. No emotions, no energy. Facts. And I'm not going to talk about this again because I just had to get it out because I just felt so it was mind-boggling. Do you know, fun fact, do you know, and again, I saw this in this report that Five was mentioning. It was when old guy said that statement, it got like 144,000 interactions instantly. 144 instantly. That means it, and I know everybody's like, well, that ain't a million. 144,000 instantly about a team moving to a place. I heard somebody else say this online. This is something that's true just to Louisiana in general. We can say what we want about our stuff. We can say what we want. We can say it's dusty. We can say it can't read good. We can say it stank, but you can't say that. You can't. We can because we've invested in it. We've done life with it. We've walked around with it. We've gotten in fights with it. We've jumped people for it. We've done the things to be able to have that bandwidth to be able to say said things about said entities. You can't do that. You can't do that because you've been throwing shade on the squad since the beginning. Since the beginning. And I get it. The Zion situation still hurts. I get it. I get it. But the truth of the matter is this. According to reports, again, like I told you, at any single moment, a team could be moved. And that doesn't mean that zero teams are excluded. Everybody could be moved. Shoot, if you want to look somewhere, y'all better hope Minnesota stay afloat because Alex Rodriguez ain't got a sip of Minnesota in him. I digress. I digress. I mean, I said what I said. But anyway, as I was saying before, as I was saying, I'm sorry, I'm gonna get in trouble for that one. I'm sorry. Ben, my bro, don't watch this. I'm sorry, brother. You good. T Wolves good. Target Center's beautiful. Minneapolis, a beautiful city. Lived there for 4 years, 3 years. Love it all. Love it, love it, love it. But the more the story is, the ownership has come out and said it's not happening. The front office has come out and said it's not happening. The ownership has put safeguards in place to make sure it doesn't happen. The more of the story is this, and this is me summing it up, and I'm ending the episode like this. If this team was winning, this would not be a conversation. If this team was winning, I'm done blaming it on Zion. Let's just keep it a bando. If this team is predicated on one guy being available, or not even just the team, like the infrastructure of the organization is predicated on one guy being available, we were never going to make it in the first place. But last time I checked, we lost Chris Paul and we were all right. We lost Anthony Davis and we are all right. I don't think that from all reports, Officer Joe has locked up Z and Z is locked in. But in the weird case that Zion decides to skip town, I think we're going to be all right. I think we're going to be all right. That's all I got for you. Let me know what you think in the comments. Listen, it's all love to everybody. No hate in my bones. Peace. God bless. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and talk to me on Twitter, man, X or whatever they call it. I'm going to talk to y'all later, all right? Y'all keep y'all head above water, man. Stay out these streets. You